फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक। तो आज का वीडियो है आर्यंस वर्सेस द्राविडियंस इज अ मिथ, डॉक्टर सुब्रमण्यम स्वामी विद अभय सिंह। तो फ्रेंड्स, मुझे नहीं पता ये वीडियो क्या है। मतलब मुझे आर्यंस पता है, द्राविडियंस का भी कुछ पता है, पर मेरे को कोई वो एज सच नहीं है। तो वीडियो से शायद कुछ नॉलेज मिलेगी। तो फ्रेंड्स, वीडियो देखने से पहले अगर आप हमारे चैनल पर नए हो और आपने अभी तक सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो जल्दी से सब्सक्राइब के बटन को क्लिक कर लो और बेल आइकन को हिट कर लो, ताकि आपको हमारे नेक्स्ट वीडियो का नोटिफिकेशन मिल जाए जैसे हम उसे अपलोड करें। और अगर ये वीडियो आपको अच्छा लगे तो करना लाइक और शेयर करना ये वीडियो अपने फ्रेंड्स और फैमिली के साथ। तो चलो फ्रेंड्स, देखते हैं ये वीडियो, क्योंकि मुझे कोई आइडिया नहीं हो रहा ये किस बारे में वीडियो है। तो लेट्स गो एंड वॉच इट।
The other pollution in our history is this word Dravidian and Aryan. The word Dravidian was first known to be used by Adi Shankara when he started what is typically Indian, no conquest by war, but by Shastrat, which means debate. So the Buddhists had taken over, and Adi Shankara made it a mission to revive and bring back Hinduism. So he challenged scholars of Buddhism to debate and said, if I win, you convert to my religion. If I lose, I become a Buddhist. And like this, he reached the most prominent Buddhist scholar who was living in Bihar called Mandana Mishra. And he began the debate with him. And there are two of the most foremost scholars. One was a Buddhist scholar, and the other is Uttara Mimamsa school, but Buddhist scholar, and the other was the most foremost scholar of that time in Hinduism. And the debate, who would umpire, came. And finally, Adi Shankara suggested, your wife is the best. She's a scholar, and she doesn't need to fear you. Those days, men used to fear their wives, not the other way around now. And she would be the best umpire. So the first question she asked is to Adi Shankara, who are you? And he said, I'm Dravida Shishu. So they said, Shishu we understand. She said, Shishu I understand, means child. But what is this word Dravida? So he said it's a sandhi of two words, tra and vid. Tra means three, vid means coast. So where the three coasts meet is Dravida. I mean, Travid became Dravida. So it's a regional term. South India is Dravida. Unfortunately, the British pounced on that and made it into a racial thing. The word Aryan doesn't exist in Sanskrit literature. The word Arya does. Arya means a civilized person, good person, accomplished person, a gentleman or a lady, that sort of thing. And it was never part of the community. So the British have created a history where they said the whole of India was full of Dravidians. Then the Aryans came from Europe through Khyber Pass and beat the hell out of the Dravidians and drove them south. And then they provoked the South Indians to rebel against the North under the term that the country is really yours. And Karnataka didn't accept it, and Kerala didn't accept it, and Andhra didn't accept it. But Tamil Nadu became a victim of that. And so the Dravidian movement was started. And the Dravidian movement, it's just without any reference to any text, they created division. In fact, they used to celebrate Raman Leela as opposed to Ram Leela. Because Ram was Aryan, because he's Northerner. And now, of course, they've stopped. And I think I made a contribution because I argued with Karunanidhi And he kept saying, no, no, he's our Dravidian king, and Rama came and killed him. But truth is that Ravan also is a northerner. He was born near
Noida.
in Noida, yeah, in Basrak village.
Wow.
He went to Mansarovar, and Lord Shiva gave him this boon. Then he said, which is the most developed part of India? There were only two parts at that time, Ayodhya and Sri Lanka. And Ayodhya was defeated. So there was a war between Dashrath and Raman, and he was defeated. And then Raman went and conquered Sri Lanka. His relative, Uber, who we identify with plenty.
Yeah.
He was ruling and he took over. And so this division is now being exploded by the DNA studies which are taking place. Now there's hectic efforts going on trying to reinterpret that, but it's all a failure. But the Journal of Genetics of the University of Cambridge, and this all you can get from Google, then the Journal of Genetics of University of Mysore, University of Houston, all three have published research to show that the DNA of all Indians is the same. And DNA has got nothing to do with these physical attributes like color and so on. For example, skin color is got to do with pigmentation. Michael Jackson was a black African American, but he went to a surgeon and said, "Take out my pigmentation," and he became totally white. He looked like his skin was like that of a European. So the skin color has got to do with how close you are to the sun. There's further down to the equator, the more direct are the rays of the sun. So as far as the community is concerned, there's only one community. And that's because of DNA. And that DNA cuts across everything. For example, Brahmins and scheduled caste DNA is the same. Muslim and Hindu DNA is the same. So North Indians, South Indians, West Indians, Eastern, all the DNA is the same. In fact, I once challenged in a TV debate OIC to come with me to a microbiological laboratory in Hyderabad, it's very famous. And OIC is from Hyderabad. I said, come and I'll show it to you that your DNA and my DNA is the same. And the reason why I'm saying this is,
He does like you, by the way.
yeah. I also think well of him because when he goes abroad, he defends India.
Yes.
But I did say to him that you are a patriot but not a nationalist. So he asked me, what's the difference? So patriot will fight for the country, and I know you would. But a nationalist is one who accepts that his ancestors are from this country. And that you have not accepted. That means ancestors are Hindus. And that he has not yet accepted. I will make him.
So friends, this was a fantastic video. Oh my gosh. This was really great. I mean, Dr. Subramaniam really, spoke really, really well. And I mean, his knowledge was fantastic. I didn't know about this. I didn't know that, there are, what he told that the Britishers, they created this word Aryan. And I'm sure he must have known quite a lot, but I am the ignorant one. So for me, these kind of videos are very informative and I get to gain so much of knowledge. So I didn't know that Britishers played this game again of, dividing the north and the south of India, saying that you actually, the south people were the actual people who, this India belongs to, and the north ones are the ones who came, I think, from outside and they, conquered your place, and they're creating again. That was what their policy was, divide and rule. So they're creating all these wrong information and, putting hatred among people's heart towards each other and making sure that they can rule for a longer time. So I'm so happy that, he actually came up and spoke so well and told us about facts. And he's saying that, if you check your DNAs, all the DNA of everyone, whether it be Hindu or Muslim, whether you be from South, whether you be from North, we all have the same DNA. So that tells us that we are all one part of, we are all one. So that is fantastic. And oh my gosh, this was so, so well spoken. I was engrossed while he was talking and very informative, very well spoken.
Right. So very good video, and I mean, if anybody does research on the internet, you will come across two theories. One is the theory of the Aryan invasion, and the second is the theory that there is no such Aryan invasion. So they are coming from the perspective that there was the Aryan invasion theory is incorrect, and now the research is taking place on both the theories, and the Aryan invasion theory was not really introduced by the British but by the Europeans. So even the Germans believed in them, and that's why the word Arya is in Sanskrit. They also believed that Aryans are the most superior race, and we already know what Hitler did in his life. But this theory, yes, it came from the Europeans, and the theory was, as he said, that they came through the north and pushed the native people down, and then the people in the south are called Dravidians, the north are Aryans, and then interracial marriages took place. So today India is kind of a mixture. So that is the theory. But the other theory that he is a proponent is no, everybody has the same DNA. They're basically the same people. The only difference in the pigmentation is because of the sunlight. If you are exposed more to the sun, it kind of becomes darker, and if you're not, then it becomes lighter. Now, both the theories are contending with, I mean, they are competing with each other. There's a lot of competition, and there's a research going on both of the theories. So I don't know which is right or wrong, but yes, there are
But
two
they were
theories.
saying that,
Then,
some
I mean, yeah.
universities have done research and they're
Yeah,
saying.
so they also, if you search on the Aryan invasion theory, then they have also done research where they are claiming that I can prove that this person is genetically closer to the Europeans, and their characteristics are closer to the Europeans, and they have come down, and they can prove that how the people came down. So each side has their own scientific research. Now, some things anybody can make sense is, if you look at the people who are fair, who have a lighter skin tone, you will see that they normally do exist towards the north. If you look at whole of Europe, it is pretty cold. You look at United States is just an immigration from Europe, right? So the core is Europe. So if you look at the Europe, yeah, they are white and they are pretty, it's a cold area. Then you look at the Africa, which is south, they are pretty dark. So there are some ways of collaborating. Okay, you look at the, but then it is not 100% true, because if you go deeper towards the south, towards the southern pole, then southern pole is also very cold. But there you do not see all white people, because there are parts of Africa like South Africa, there it is nearer to the South Pole, but it is not really white people. So there are a lot of complexities in that. Why? Because you will know that the continents were not like continents. At one point, everything was joined together. So then you need to go back to history and say, hey, the continents were one joined together, and the areas that were towards the north are the Europe, but the areas that are north, that are not towards the north, which is southern, they got broken off. So a lot of research is being doing. So yeah, so there are certainly two stories, and each person is, nowadays can do their own research to see both the sides have their facts which they have brought. That, if you compare, one is going to DNA, I think I need to check more on, because the Aryan invasion theory also states that the DNA of the North Indians are more like Middle Eastern, and the Dravidians' DNA is different. So we have to do more research on it. So nobody will really know what is the truth. I think, no, I think maybe 10-20 years from now, if they both the theories, people keep on doing research, I'm sure some theory will come that will point, that will give more concrete evidence as to what it is. But I agree in both. Both the theories have critical points in their favor. And that's why this debate goes on. The debate that he is saying is also a good debate. Yeah, probably there was just one land and invaders made it up to divide people. So both the theories have some facts which are true, and therefore I'm saying that the Aryan invasion theory also have some facts that they have proven to be true. They have also shown many texts, many things that the people were immigrating, so whatnot. And so I would say, and they have brought many theories compared to Rig Veda. Even to the Vedas, that the Aryans came and they brought a new culture, they had their own ways, and the Dravidians had other. So there's a lot of complexity in it, but I would agree that this is one theory that we have seen in this video, and there is another theory, the Aryan invasion theory. Yeah.
So if we believe the other theory, that means we are Aryans and we came and we invaded India.
No, so what they are saying is the people from Europe and Central Asia, they immigrated. So they immigrated and came to these lands, and they were fighting and there were wars, and they were able to occupy the northern part of India. So that is their theory.
I see. So guys, this was quite complicated, but I mean, I don't know which one is the one that I should believe in. But do let me know what your thoughts are. What do you believe in? So what Dr. Subramaniam said.
Right.
or the
And there
other
is one more information that there was a time where a Sikh gentleman said, okay, so the Europe believes in this Aryan invasion theory. So since he was from Punjab, he said, okay, from that theory, and looking at the maps that were drawn by the Germans and the Europeans to show the Indo-Aryan race. So he said, according to those maps, Indo-Aryan race, then he becomes an Indo-Aryan. So he is an Aryan and he's a Caucasian. And if he is Caucasian, then he should be allowed to immigrate to the US. Because at that time in 1900s, early 1900s at the time, 1908, 1914, the immigration, they were not allowing immigration from India, but the immigration of Caucasians was allowed. So this Sikh gentleman said, okay, then he sued the US government, and he said, if that is a theory, then I am Caucasian. And if I am Caucasian, then you need to let me come, right? And then there was a lot of debate in the US, and he lost that war, because they said, when we say Caucasian, we are talking about whites, primarily European whites, and not India. Then he did not give up. Then after a few years, again he sued them. And then that, how do you judge the color of the white? And I am white enough, because he was from Punjab. So there was a lot of fight, and eventually, after I think the second or the third court trial, he was accepted.
Oh, wow.
So, and that was not because of this theory, but after a lot of fighting, he did immigrate to US. And he came to the US, and he was accepted by I think it was a city of New York that accepted him. I think he did come, and then there were more proceedings where they tried to deport him, but I think he finally was able to come to the US. So you can see where it is US government versus, I don't remember his name, where they say that he initially lost, but then he didn't give up. He kept on fighting, and then he did win, I believe, and he did immigrate finally to the US. So he came from the same point, okay, then I'm Caucasian. But then he lost the battle, right. But then he did win eventually due to many other factors. And after him, then they stopped the immigration. Okay, one guy came, fine. Then they changed the laws to say, no, we are not talking Caucasian, we are talking about whites. So they changed the law so that more people could not come. So a lot of things happened. And then obviously, after the World War II, finally the laws were changed and the immigration with India was started. And that was because of IT. So because of information technology, they started the immigration, and slowly people started to come.
So friends, this was really a fantastic video, and got to learn so much from the video and from this guy right here, because I didn't know about this incident where, the Sikh is our Indian Sikh is trying to come to US, and he's giving the same, arguments like, I'm a Caucasian according to such and such theory.
Yeah.
So that was fantastic to hear and get to know. Very interesting. So guys, we hope you also had fun listening to this and watching this video. We'll go ahead and take your leave, and we'll come back again in another video very soon. Till then, take care and bye-bye.
Oh, and if you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so it notifies you when I put in my new video for you to enjoy. Bye!